Hey Pisces, before I start the forecast for July, let me just tell you, if you haven't been receiving your YouTubes now, I figured out what that could be all about. Most of you now are watching your YouTubes on your phone or your device, right? Now there's a little bell. If you look under the video, it'll say subscribe and then there's a bell. If you haven't hit the bell, you'll only get every once in a while some video sent to your email. But if you hit the bell, you'll get each and every one of them so you don't miss any of the forecasts. So that is great. But listen, buckle up, Pisces. This is going to be a little bit of a bumpy ride, like the headliner says. And that is because this full moon is going to be super, super powerful. It is going to be aligned with Pluto, and we know what Pluto is all about. It's transformation, right? And we just want to be very careful for those things that we've been suppressing, right? If we haven't dealt with our issues, and I mean not just you, but people around you, this goes for everyone under this full moon, this could really vent and come to the surface. Think about a volcano, which is very serene on the outside when nothing's going on with it, but then all of a sudden it will erupt. So this full moon, full of emotions, full of passions, could really bring things up. And the area where this might show up for you might either be in the circle of friends, friendships, acquaintances, some group, perhaps organization, or also within your area of children. They might be going through something, or it could also be if you have a business of your own. There's the self-expression, creativity. Now all of this is going to come up. Not only do we have a super powerful Plutonian full moon, but the thing is, on the 9th, on the day of the full moon, the sun is opposing Pluto as well. To make it even more potent, we have Jupiter, which is squaring it, so we've got a big T-square. Jupiter is all about justice, fairness, and so forth. What is right, what is wrong, really wanting to balance those scales of it. Your Jupiter, Pisces, is in the 8th house, which has to do with royalties, commissions, banking, any kind of financial contracts, investments, and so forth. So you might come to see here that there is a situation that you might need to jump in and balance up. Now, before we even get to that full moon, we start off the month, Pisces, with a Mars opposing this Pluto. So it's really setting Pluto up, right? Mars is being set up for what is to come further down in the week, the next 10 days. Now, we've always mentioned that, Mars is dynamite, Pluto is nuclear. Put the two of them together in a difficult, conflicting aspect, and we have this powerhouse. We want to be very careful of any kind of power games, guilt tripping, that kind of thing. I feel the intensity may rise either within you or people around you. So yeah, we want to be aware. Whenever we're forearmed, we're forewarned, or the other way around. So let me tell you though that as Mars is moving out of here July 2nd, I'd like to say get your notepad out. Make a note of these dates because it's really going to help you as a roadmap as we proceed into the month. On the 4th, we have a little mishap communication. Might be because it's coming a little bit out of the blue, hanging right from the left, and we're a little surprised, taken by it. And we're still feeling, this Mars-Pluto opposition, because that lingers for a little bit. Mars doesn't move that quickly. On the 5th, we might have to deal with it. Reach out, talk to somebody in the know that could perhaps help us to get things clear. Why? Because originally, and still, you have a beautiful concept of the vision that you're holding. This is Neptune, your ruler, the sun, which is you, beautifully aligned in this trine, meaning that you are, in a sense, innocent, pure in your vision of what it is you wanted to accomplish with a certain goal and whatnot, and then something might have rocked your world, whatever that might be. But you're looking into it, and I feel this is a great time for you to clear up maybe these older issues. On the 7th, you might feel a little bit better. There's some feedback coming to you. There's some communication. You're feeling pretty good as far as being settled on this. Also romantically, this is a great day for communication, feeling that there is a flow, so you can have a little bit of an escape from the issues, right? But lo and behold, what's lingering behind it is the growing full moon, which is now going to surface on the 9th. Now, we said Mars-Pluto was opposing one another on the 2nd. Some of that is still lingering. It's still there. But here we have the Sun opposing Pluto, with that Mars in there, with Jupiter squaring to it. So this is a month, or should I say a full moon, which is really important to look at what and why, even more so important, why certain things are surfacing right now. And of course, it's a little bit of a disruptive energy field if we aren't really clear in our past, okay? Our karmic path catches up with us under certain incidences like this. However, though, I do feel that you will be looking at how to not just balance it, but you will see on the 14th that actually you've done pretty well. Be proud of yourself. Great communication coming from Jupiter, which it was trying to balance out these energetic fields. But we're not done with that, though, because on the 17th, we have Venus and Neptune, your ruler. They're squaring off on each other, which whenever we see that kind of square, there's always a little sense of disappointment or loss or whatnot, not coming to fruition. Maybe you have to take a rain check if you had a date set up, perhaps. But I do see that this could have happened circumstantially, because on the very same day, we have this little bit of an accident-prone aspect, and this is Mars squaring off on Uranus. So when we look at this configuration, it's interesting because Venus and Neptune is trying to figure out, hey, what the heck is happening? It's been such a weird month. Everything has been going like this. So you're kind of like out here trying to make reason of it. And Neptune is extremely clear as far as vision goes when it's well aspected. When it isn't, then we, you know that as a Pisces, it gets into this fogginess, right? So emotionally you're a little foggy, you're trying to figure out all these question marks going off in your head. And then Mars, which rules the physical action of your body, is heading one direction but not really paying attention. And then Uranus squaring it could, you know, kick off that surprise. This is one of those days where we might stump our toe because we weren't paying attention, right? But definitely do not text and drive. You want to be careful in traffic. If you're making dinner, be careful. Any sharp objects, which of course Mars rules. So the 17th is a day that we want to be a little bit on the alert of. On the 18th, great news, Pisces. So there are some upsides to this month. This is Venus and Jupiter, and whenever they come together in this beautiful trine, this is when we can expect not just joy and happiness, serenity coming into our life, love and romance, just feeling great and expanding and opening up, but both of them also rule money. Okay, so if you've been waiting for some money, maybe this has been a part of a disappointment setback earlier in the month, it should be coming now. So definitely for those of you ready to receive, you can get that. If you're starting, for example, a new job, well, this is a great time to do so because the signature, the vibration and frequency of this day will have a long-term benefit for you, and especially because Mercury and Saturn always looks out for longevity. Any contract, mutual agreement, that kind of thing being set up in these days, 17th and 18th, will really set you for a long, long time. So aim for these days to start anything new. We have the 20th, a little bit of an unexpected surprise. This is from the Sun, it's and Uranus. Uranus, of course, is your second house for money and income. There might be an expense that you will heed. Not necessarily a huge one, but it could be an unexpected one. Listen, let's talk about the new moon, Pisces, because not only are new moons great, but this one is fabulous. It shows up 0 degrees in Leo. So for you, this is in your 6th house. And the beauty of this new moon is that it has 2 great attachments to it. one from Uranus, one from Saturn. Uranus will bring sparks of the inventive type energy, the unexpected. It might set you up wanting to explore new ways of what? Sixth house stuff, new ways as far as setting up your day-to-day routine might just spark at this time. Sixth house also has to do with your health. You might start off something, and not only may you start off, because we can do that many times and then it fizzles, but since we also have a golden beam from Saturn, this will allow us to ground it, that whatever it is we start now in this area, health regime, day-to-day routine, getting all your ducks in a row, interacting with your associates and so forth, this will definitely also have that long-term signature. So put a little time aside to go in, visualize the manifestation of what it is you want to achieve from this new moon, and you'll see how it's going to work for you throughout the whole entire year. That's the upside. On the 24th, there might be a situation where you might feel emotionally a little in a self-protective mode, and I'll tell you why. Whenever Saturn is involved with Venus, yes, there's a lot of security there, but it's also karmic because it's Saturn. When they're in opposition like we have here on the 24th, always recall though that Saturn can feel a little cold because of its rings. It pushes out, right? So you might feel somebody around you, might have a little distance today. Maybe it could even be you, where you're in this self-protective mode and holding somebody or some situation a little bit at distance. And it could be because you're doubting whether what now has taken place, can you trust it? Is it true? Is it real? Because everything has been so wavy throughout the month. It's like, what now? What next? Can I let my guard down? Because if you choose to embrace it and believe in it and you're all up, the next day things can collapse again. That's how July has been thus far. Up and down. So right now I just see you wanting to have some kind of validation that you can trust what has come together. That should be coming to you sometime throughout this very same day that you're doubting. And a lot of you Pisces are so good about just holding faith. You just believe in spite of any kind of circumstance, right? It really takes a lot for you to doubt. Because your faith is so strong, and that is who you are as a Pisces. But even you can come to a time where you're thinking, I'll just wait and see, right? But the validation, it's like instant validation. It's Mercury delivering news from Uranus, and it is in a beautiful trine, so you'll get through the 24th in an awesome, awesome way. I feel you're all set up with a new vibratory energy here on the 26th when the Sun meets up with Mars. Now Mars is now moving into your 6th house, so it's been in your 5th house throughout the month, right? So you've been extremely busy with creative projects. 5th house, all lit up from top of the month, the Sun, Mars, Mercury, and so forth. So that's where your focus is going to be. And Mars has really been cruising, but now when the Sun is coming into the conjunction of Mars, you're now in the 6th house on the 26th. So I feel you're going to see how your daily routines might shift a little bit. If you've been working certain hours for certain things, now you might shift it to other hours just to make it more compatible with where you're at and how you're working. On the 30th, as we're coming to the close of the month, I love this signature transit. It is Venus and Uranus. Venus is all about our love. It's the heart chakra, right? It's all that romantic stuff. But it's also your creativity and your sense of the arts and love of arts. Venus here in it's moving into your 4th house. So you might just see how this will be now you doing things around the home. You could actually see that, Pisces, from July 6th onwards. The first week of July, it will be in your 3rd house, so short distance travel and so forth, and putting all your love into this to and fro. Also, catching up with siblings and so forth, that is a typical 3rd house thing. But from July 6th, Venus will be in your area of the home. So you might be painting walls or changing a carpet, anything to bring maybe a little bit more, shall I say, pizzazz into this area. So on the 30th, there might be a little unexpected surprise coming in from Uranus, so I love to see that. Uranus, of course, for you is in your 2nd house. You might be wanting to purchase a new piece of furniture, piece of land, real estate, anything of that nature that really rules the 4th house could really take place there on the 30th. So listen, Pisces, this is what I have for you in the short and the skinny of July. I will see you again in August. But listen, if you're wondering where, elsewhere should I say, that this tremendous full moon is going to kick out, you might want to go listen to your moon or rising sign forecast of this month, because of course it's going to shift into different areas of your chart in a different axis. Same thing if you know your birth chart, your natal chart, you might want to check out where the full moon is going to be hitting Pluto, Sun, Mars, and Jupiter in your natal chart too. So listen, have a great month. I'll see you in August. Bye now.